into my eyes and show me your adventures.
What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video, coming at you with the top 5 solo Warframes. Now, what do I mean by this? As you know, Warframe is a PvE game, and there are people who like to play with themselves. I didn't mean it like that. I meant like, you know, play solo. I mean, if you play with yourself, it's just fine. Hey, hands up. I see you. Exactly. You know, this is more for people who like to sit in the corner right there by themselves, do missions by themselves. These 5 Warframes can cover everything in the game that you need to do. Now, these Warframes come in no particular order. They just cover the basic missions that you need to do yourself. So let's get right onto it. I should have like a nice transition thing. Wha-bam! Cool transition, hopefully. Anyway, here we are with Cora. Now, some of you may know Cora, and for those who already see this, it's like, I know what he's gonna talk about. Well, yes, Cora does a lot for you as a solo player. Now, what you may be asking? Well, Warframe is one of those games where you need to farm a lot of resources. And the best Warframe to farm resources solo is Cora. And some of you may be like, hey, what about Necros? He's got his... Shut up. Cora does more than Necros. Want to know why? Because Cora's got her dome. She can protect herself. She can do a lot of damage. And she doesn't require for her to desecrate. Desecration has a rate. Necros, by himself, can only desecrate a handful of enemies per second, and enemies' bodies disappear after a while, so you can't be that quick when it comes to loot. However, Cora's augment Pilfering Strangle Dome, she can just place it down there, and whoever is captured in the dome will have a chance to drop more loot. It's that easy. Place dome, smack, 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 enemies are dead. And this dome is very helpful in defense missions, mobile defense missions, and even if you want to take it a step further, you also got excavation missions. Oh yeah, you want to farm those excavation missions for those cryotics? I know you do, especially for those who really want to farm Cyber. Just buy it at this point. That thing is notorious. Anyway, let's take a look at how I've built her. Mind you, I do have an in-depth guide for Cora, especially using this particular build. We do have a helmet ability. I did replace her third ability with Lyceth's Hunt. That's exactly what I meant to say. So, this is Veruna's ability. This allows you to drop a bunch of health orbs upon melee kills. Her Whip Claw is a melee. Oh yes, a pseudo-exalted melee. It's not an ability that can be modded like exalted weapons. It requires an external source, hence why you have a stat stick. I've explained what a stat stick is a billion times. Just know, use whatever melee. Just use whatever melee, except combo pausing melees. Wiki exists, or check out the full guide. Anyway, very simple. Drops health orbs, can synergize with equilibrium. Now, how to pick up health orbs if you're topped up with HP? Well, you have your Venari can have Synth Fiber. This allows you to pick up health orbs even though you're full HP. Same with Synth Deconstruct. And your Panzer Vulpaphyla, she can have 2 pussies. I mean, cats. Yes, she can have 2 cats. So, if one dies, one is still alive. And guess what? Both of her cats are immortal because Venari will come back after a while. And Panzer just goes into that little larva state. All right. The build is very simple. Brief Respite, because this is a shield gating build. Brief Respite is going to help us refresh our shields if they do break, but they're not going to be breaking as often because we have so much CC, that's crowd control, and we're doing a lot of damage, killing a lot of things. Arcane Fury, because when we crit with our melee, her Whip Claw that is, it gives us more base damage. Notice how we don't have much power strength. Well, because Cora doesn't need that much power strength. And the base damage is going to come from accumulating Whip Claw, her first ability, Augment. Forgoing Strength allows us to be more flexible with other mods, hence why we have 2 augments without losing much. Pilfering Strangle Dome, her Strangle Dome augment, giving us more loot upon kills. Range at a ridiculous 265 with overextended auger reach and stretch. And these two pair really well together. Rolling Guard for that status cleansing and 3 seconds of invulnerability. Equilibrium is what allows us to convert those health orbs into energy. Notice how we have base efficiency. Oh yeah, this is weird, right? Yeah, this build doesn't run out of energy. If you run out of energy, I don't know what you're doing. Mind you, the duration of Lyceth's Hunt is prolonged if enemies have 5 or more status effects on them. That's easily done with a primer, an epitaph. Just click, click, 1, click, click, 1. Very easy. I will show you a non-Riven Stand-stick build. Now you may be asking, hey, what Riven do I need? Make sure you have these two positives. If you don't have these two positives, shit Riven. Get a new one. Crit damage and melee damage with a negative. Why negative? Negatives greatly increase the positive values. Remember, crit damage and damage. Anything else is an addition, meaning crit chance will be nice, and element, it's okay. Bonus slash is also okay, because you don't want bonus impact or puncture. What are you, crazy? I mean, some of you, yes, sure, why not? Since she is critting 100% of the time, you are multiplying the damage when you crit. That's what crit damage does. So, crit damage and damage. I'm repeating myself. Anything else, due to water. Rivenless, Standstick. Pressure point. Condition overall doesn't work. Seriously, come on. Stop asking those weird questions. So, crit chance, status chance, crit damage. This is also increasing your crit chance when you build up combo, just like Blood Rush. Yes, yes. And this is a slash build. You have Karnas and Buzzkill. Very simple, very easy to use. Now, this is where your Riven would go. Or if you want more crits, boom, put Sacrificial Steel. Or you want more base damage, put Spoiled Strike. What does Spoiled Strike do? Well, shoot, it gives you more base damage. And if you have like a Jaw Sword or Mai or whatever, this is where the additional mod goes. Very simple. For an elemental build, guess what? Just swap out these two. If it's a corrosive build, you don't need to run Weeping Woods because corrosive is raw damage. You can replace this. And a lot of people are going to be skipping this, not even paying attention and asking weird questions in the comment section. But you know what? It's Warframe. You expect that. And now we're on to the second Warframe, as you see right there. 1.2 million in 5 minutes. Yes, I did do a quick bit of index. And yes, we do have bonus credit weekend. So you may notice a little boost in the, credit department. As you may know, Revenant is the almighty Gigakhead. It's not pronounced Gigachad. Whoever says that is wrong. It's Gigakhead. Anyway, Revenant is very simple to play. Dump a bunch of power strength, press 2, and just kill enemies. It's not that hard. If you struggle with Revenant, seriously, you have problems. His first ability, really great crowd control. Enemies hit you while your 2 is active, they get stunned. And you can easily mind control them with the first ability for free. But if you don't want to go through all that hassle of them hitting you, you can just press 1 on enemies. Now, they're your bitches, right? If you say you ain't getting bitches in real life, well, Revenant will help you get some bitches, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, once they have that enthrall thing on their heads, they're your allies, and they can also take more damage from your 3, which is Reeve. Reeve can literally smack enemies into non-existence. Also, replenish your 2 health and shields, but you don't even have to worry about that at all. And his 4th ability is the worst piece of garbage. You would always replace that for something better, like a damage buff, crowd control buff, grouping ability. Possibilities, I would say endless, but we only have a handful of helmet abilities that are useful. In this showcase, I did replace his 4th ability with Roar. And yes, I do have Archon shards for casting speed, because casting speed animation is too slow, good god. And yes, you want an in-depth guide for Revenant, I do have videos for that. Go check that out. This is going to be a quick rundown. Now for the big boys, right? They say, don't do index, just go do Profit Taker. Listen, Profit Taker requires a lot more preparation, while index, you can go in there pretty easily and destroy things, okay? And you can still earn credits. Mind you, it takes a bit more time than Profit Taker, but those people who are doing Profit Taker fast have the gear, have the knowledge, they know what to do, they can farm really quickly. But for the average Joe, they're like, I'm not gonna go through all that trouble. I need to do this, I need to have this, I need to have these elements. They're Warframe players. Their brains are going to fry. So Revenant is perfect for index and any sort of endurance run. That's how good he is. All right, for the index run, I did use the T-Net Arca Plasmir. So the T-Net Arca Plasmir is an impressive shotgun. So the Plasmir comes with radiation, pretty good against enemies in the index because they have alloy armor. You can strip that armor or just do so much damage that alloy armor won't even matter. My T-Net Plasmir has bonus toxin, very good, because that can give you some flexibility when you're modding it with viral, corrosive, whatever. You don't have to go so Giga Chad with this build. If you're taking it easy, you don't have to go with a faction mod, all right? It's regular path, it's not steel path, right? If you're going in steel path, yes, you would go like this. Merciless is our base damage, so that's why I don't need to put Prime Point Blank. As you see, it's a Toxin build with the bonus radiation that comes with Teened Please Mirror, and that's it. And the Revenant build itself, I didn't run enemy radar. If you're doing index, for the love of God, use enemy radar. I completely forgot about it, and preparation doesn't work in index, but this is more for a broad mission type thing, you know? Energize and Molt Augmented. If you don't have Energize, get it. Shut up. Duration at 128, because Transient Fortitude reduces that duration but gives you power strength, and Prime Continuity counteracts that, so you at least get to keep some duration. Very useful for the fourth ability, which is going to be our Roar and the Enthrall. And as you notice here, we went deep. We went hard with Power Strength, right? With Blind Rage, Intensify, and Mesmer Shield. With all that power, it gives us more Mesmer Skin charges and more damage multiplier. Moving on to the next Warframe. Oh yes, you thought I wasn't gonna add this guy? You're wrong. And you may notice, oh, we're in Cetus. What would he possibly do with Volt in Cetus? There's only one thing you can do with Volt in Cetus. Idol hunting is a crucial part of Warframe. There are people who say, I don't want to do it, it's tough. You don't want to learn in parties? Well, you can learn by yourself. Just make sure you have the appropriate gear, because Eidolon hunts are a gear check. I have several guides on Eidolon hunting. Do go check them out. People say, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, I just want to hunt Eidolons. If you want to get good, you want to go fast, kill more, get better, then get the gear, learn how to do it a certain way. Those things are meta for a reason. Hello there, how's it going? Why is Volt the best for Eidolon hunting? Well, his third ability. Third ability gives you electric damage and multiplies your crit damage. That's pretty good. And it also affects operator amps. It's the only thing in the game that can consistently buff operators' damage without any activation, like the Operator Arcanes. And his second ability gives you reload speed, movement speed, and that speed buff also translates to Arcwing flight speed. So that's why when you see people moving really fast with Arcwings, it's the combination of Volt speed, intrinsics, and flight speed mods on the Arcwing. And plus his first ability, Shock, has an augment called Shock Trooper, which gives you an electric elemental damage multiplier. Electricity plus heat gives you radiation, which is very strong against alloy armor. And I will replace his fourth ability because it doesn't do anything for you in the hunts. In this case, I'm using Eclipse. Eclipse is a final weapon damage multiplier. It has a higher damage ceiling than Roar. If you have yourself a damage blessing, this is a 25% Roar. Yes, this is pretty much Roar and is additive to Roar. Stacks with Eclipse, because that damage affects your weapon and Eclipse will multiply that damage, so even more damage. And since we're solo hunting, we're using Matter Eye. Matter Eye literally enhances the damage of your amps, so it's a definite must use. A lot of people are saying, I'm not doing enough damage to the Synovias, blah blah blah, my amp is not doing enough damage. Get the proper amp, have an amp guide, get the proper mods on your weapons, and armor strip. Literally, use the buffs that you have. You do not have the gear, you're not going to notice the damage, or you're not going to improve in the hunts. Get the gear, learn how things work. That's Eidolon hunting. Very straightforward. And if you say, I don't have it, then farm for it. Stop complaining. Do it. And this is a min-max solo Volt build. I do have a bunch of Volts for a lot of situations. I'm going to use my solo min-maxed Volt build. Now I'm going to show you a simple quick charging. Go outside there, get a lure, and get to the Terrorless. Press 2, get into Arcwing, and fly over to the lock pin. Spawn Bombalus. I hate this guy. I hate this guy.
I advise you to be careful. Most devices draw energy from bomb.
Anyway,
Make use of them.
wake up the Eidolon. This way, I can spawn the Bombalus underneath him. And
Energy spike.
look at that.
Is falling back.
Easy quick charge. Place our shields.
Directed to secure and employ additional Eidolon lures.
That's it. And wait for it. Watch that.
Energy spike.
That's how you do it, baby. And let's get another lure. Come back. Place shields. Lose energy to proc Eradicate an Onslaught. Nice-oo. Get another lure.
Next, you attempt to take control of it.
Now I have full energy and full Matarite. Activate that. Oh, what is blocking me? Was my thing blocking me? God dang it. Anyway, summon a crewmate. Crewmate is going to help me charge the lures. Very easy. Park her here. All right. And park the yellow lure here. And now she will use a Cycron. That Cycron is going to chain to the Eidolon and hit the Vomvolus underneath to help charge the lure. I'm going to grab another lure. And not stand too close to that one. All right. You need 2 lures to capture the terror list. Watch. Do you hear the Vomvolus dying? Look. Charge lure. Boom! Suck them up. And go to the shrine. Look down. And pick up your lure. You pick up your shield, sorry. Toss that Zenith there. And now get ready. You see, the shrine is glowing. Put your shard in. And here we go. Very simple, right, guys? I know it requires a lot of practice, but, you know, you'll get there. You'll get there. I'm looking at you. You know why you play this Warframe. There's one reason why you play this Warframe. Don't lie. Don't lie. But anyway, Wisp. Yeah, exactly. Now, Wisp is good for a lot of things. And some may say she's great for 2 things, but no, get your mind out of the gutter. But it's a Warframe community we're talking about. Their mind is always going to be in the gutter. You can't help that. Wisp is that Warframe that you can take into quite a lot of missions and just be useful without doing much, because she is an offensive support. She's very good with a lot of weapons, as her haste mode gives you fire rate, attack speed, and movement speed. So great for, you know, moving fast, killing things. Passive crowd control with her shock mode, and health regen with her health mode. Very powerful. Her second ability is literally 3/4 of Loki's kit. You go invisible, you distract enemies, and you can teleport. And upon teleporting, you become invulnerable, and then DE nerfs other things. But they did, however, recently nerf Breach Surge, but you can still do hundreds of millions of damage. You can't do billions of damage, but there is a secret you can actually. However, you can still do hundreds and hundreds of millions of damage with Breach Surge. I have tons of builds for Wisp. You should see Resonating Wisp 2.0. It takes crowd control to the next level, where you can crowd control Eximus units and acolytes. That's how messed up and powerful it is. Anyway, for this particular loadout, it's something that you can use and take into arbitrations or even missions that you just want to spam AoE weapons that have had their ammo nerfed, like the Kuvazar. Yes, you can have infinite Kuvazar ammo just by simply smacking on Dispensary and Sniper Scavenger. Yes, they take sniper ammo. I don't know why, but yes, Kuvazar takes sniper ammo, just like the Kuva Ogress. So you just sit there, have infinite ammo, invulnerability, energy. You're just unkillable. You can crowd control, and you can just spam your Kuvazar over your Kuva Ogress. In the aura, of course, Sniper Scavenger, we have Molt Augmented for even more power, Energized for even more energy, Archon Stretch for even more energy, Duration 155 with Prime Continuity. Notice, no efficiency. We don't care about efficiency. Slap on Blind Rage, slap on Intensify, Augur Secrets, because why not? I didn't use Transient Fortitude because I want to keep the duration up. And we're getting even more with Molt Augmented. Fuse Reservoir, so you can cast all of your motes with one cast. Very nice augment, very useful in these situations. And Prime Flow for our large energy pool. And yes, this build can also shield gate very easily because we have negative duration. We have 2 Augur mods on our secondary and an Augur mod on our Warframe with negative efficiency. You can either double cast your 2 for invulnerability, Rolling Guard for the crazy status effects on you, just get rid of them, and Breach Surge, you can instantly get your shields back. Double tap 2, you get your shields back and have invulnerability phases, which is crazy. All right, now the last Warframe for solo players is Banshee, and I may see some confused faces. Hey, why would you pick Banshee? There's like other Warframes that can damage. Listen, I said this covers a lot of situations. Now, let's say you're a solo player. You don't want to play with people, but you want to level your stuff up. And you're tired of gambling just to see if there's a nuke Warframe and ESO. So, what are you going to do? Well, simple. Level up solo. Oh, so you're taking us to Hydron? What's bad? No. Who said Hydron? Never go to Hydron. Worst place to level up. Noob Trap as well. It's stupid. Don't do it. I'll smack you. We're either going to go to Adaro on Sedna or Telesto on Saturn. They're both exterminate missions. What makes Banshee so good for solo leveling? Banshee Silent is quite powerful. Stuns enemies. Killing enemies when they're unalerted gives you stealth affinity multiplier, which stacks up to 500%, which then stacks with affinity boosters and other form of affinity boosting multipliers, like your Smita Kavat. Now, to maintain that 500%, use the Augment for Banshee Silence, which helps you level up very well. Since Silence is a great tool, you can smack it on other Warframes, so you can level up those Warframes. Good stuff, right? Activate Gloom. Yes, we're using Gloom on Banshee, and activate Silence. Stun enemies. Look at that. You see our 500% is always active? Easy leveling. And this also helps you level up with focus. Yes, you can use Banshee Silence for focus farming in these missions. And we just got an that is evil. We just got an affinity booster from our cat. Oh my god, we're gonna be leveled up real quick right now. But if you really want to min-max it to the next level, make sure you get a Lich and never do the Lich, because those Larvalings are quite annoying and they have an insane aggro range that they can spot you a billion miles away. So just get a Lich and just leave it alone for like forever. Yeah, build is very simple. Slap on Gloom, and that's it. Now, with Silence, you want to have base range for 15.8.9, which is narrow-minded with stretch. However, this is a leveling loadout. I keep it at base range. Build is very simple. Bunch of power strength to give Gloom the slow. The slow actually prolongs the stun animation of Silence, and make sure you have Savage Silence. Enemy radar is important, especially if you're leveling, because you're going to have the overlay map just to see where the enemies are. I'm sure footed if you're using like AoE weapons. And the build is very straightforward. Some duration, power strength, preparation so you start up with max energy, and put whatever arcanes you want to help increase the damage or the fire rate of some weapons. Focus School, Naramon if you're using melees to level up. And if you're leveling up other Warframes, just slap on Silence onto those Warframes with Savage Silence. What I'm saying is, Silence is a powerful tool. And some of you may ask, but hey, can't I just do this with Sevagoth? Yeah, but tell me, hey, how many of you actually use Sevagoth as a Warframe? Very few, I can say that for sure. So, Banshee's there to help you level up solo, chill, just do it while you're watching some Netflix or anime. I don't know what you do. Yes, I know exactly what I did. And I know you guys wanted to see more of this. Even the Panzer's excited. These are the top 5 solo Warframes that a solo player will need to do pretty much everything they need to do in the game. Anyway, for those who enjoyed and learned something from this video, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, a peace.